So any requirement, that's requirement need to communicate to the your cloud provider. So that is a either languages. So that is languages are Azure CLI, Azure PowerShell, ARM templates, Bicep, and as well as JSON and infrastructure as a code. So these are all are infrastructure as a code. As a code means IAC. IAC means we are creating normal Azure portal. That is the first method. Then we will that we remove that process. Means we are avoiding that process to reducing the time to getting the best time achievement, cost reductions, time saving, perfection. Correct, Manikanta?
Yes, sir.
With code you using same code you will get the same type of requirement anytime n number of times, so there is no issue. Correct or not? Accuracy will be correct or not?
Yes, sir.
For using the code you are creating the virtual machines. You are using, you are creating the line resources in the Azure cloud, so that will be the more accuracy. So even credential name, even manual you are creating, sometimes you may make a mistake, but in a code method it will not make a mistake. So how you store the code? So you are creating a code Azure, this commands like yesterday we created some commands. Azure CLI, AG login, AG like Azure PowerShell connect to AG. So connect to AG account. Okay, it is error. So that's why what I did. I did it, used so with the tenant ID. That's the thing I did actually here. Connect AG account hyphen and tenant ID means tenant ID is means active directory, that identity. So organization identity. So using this command, so I need this name and thing. So I will capture these things as a code. So code is that connect AG account. It is a Azure PowerShell, and I want to store ever. So I want so daily I remember this command and doing these things. So what I do now using Git, I will store this into the public repository, sorry, remote repository GitHub. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
You typed in these commands in your local machine. So this you are collected these types into the. So how you say I am saying? So I am doing the same connect. Hmm? What is the command? AG account. See,
Is
it
yes.
automatically pop up. So it is showing the suggestion also. So and tenant I want to use. Correct or not? So this is the account
Yes.
tenant.
Turn on.
So tenant my active directory user ID. Active directory identity is the total organization identity. So it will be show here active directory level tenant ID. So I will here. So I when I doing this one, so I want to run selection. It will be pop up your account. So I can save this file now. Just save this. So PS1, it is a PowerShell file. So I can save this file and I will do the git init, git add, git commit, and git push to the GitHub. So I can store that file and I can run any time, any number of times. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
for storing the code. So any software, some software is a special requirement as a there need that have a special purpose. So that softwares one for software is a one requirement will be give. So correct or not?
Yes, sir.
So Azure cloud. So that is a requirement. It's like what requirement it giving? It is providing the like resource creation, like compute virtual machines, storages, different is there,
Yes, sir.
information
Yes, sir.
databases. So Git is providing, so storing the code. So we are trying to creating code. So what the first this code anybody can change, but in your Git using with Git software, if you they want to change with commit ID and their access permissions policies, then only they can change. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
So
Committed.
without unauthorization persons, so no can't change modify anything. So you can safely store your code. So you are storing the code using Azure, sorry, Git, and you are so you are storing the code using Git. So Git is using purpose. We are storing the code with this locker, safe locker and key. So that is a method is Git user authentication authorizations. Like nobody will can't access our that project repository, local remote repository GitHub. So only authorized people only can access, and key secrets can also use. So use key secrets means, key means as a key, that is a one file, it having the long length, like this is the code, so you can't remember, but you can save this file. So very secretly, with the secret only we can access. That is the why this is it's saying that key. Secret is the password, so password can safely store, so nobody can't store steal. That's the thing. So that's why some Azure cloud given like secrets. So how you can store the key and secrets? Key vault. Vault is a, you normally listen vault.
No,
So
sir.
no, you can hear that in Phone Pay, Google Pay there is a vault is there. So you can
Wallet.
wallet is the vault. Yes, wallet is the vault. So you can store the some money here, virtual money in the form of Google or Phone Pay or Paytm. So we can convert the money, and they will debit your money from your debit card or internet real money, and they will create a virtual equal to, virtual means not reality, virtual equal to Paytm money and Google Pay money. So that money can't use into the Google, so crosswise cross platforms. So Paytm virtual money, wallet money can't use into the Google or Google GPay or Phone Pay. Like Phone Pay is not that virtual money can't use into the like cross platforms. Phone Pay or sorry, Paytm and as well as Google Pay. So this is the virtual they are creating. So here we can store the keys and as well as secrets, vault secrets, and certificates also. Suppose you are using certificates. Certificates means you are creating for your study certificate is how many years it is valid?
Life, lifetime, sir.
And never end. So like that. So every certificate need some time. So this is now I am seeing this is HTTPS. Okay, there is a cookies and site settings and trying. I want show this certificate. See that certificate is there na. With certificates only it is secured. So that certificates provider will be there in the network area. So it will be having the some period of durations. Like that there are lot of certificates will be there to authentication authorization. So if you have he having the certification, valid certificates. In laptop your Windows certifications many more is there. So that it will be valid only, then you can access some of the services like Windows Store. 1 minute. So like that, there is certifications. So certificate having the validity, correct or not? Validity is there or a never ending validity, correct or not? Manikada, you say that. So like that, we can store safely from the key vaults. So whenever requirement is there, what we'll do, we will transfer the value, we not remove, we transfer the value of that key secret name value, and we will use the whenever requirement in your pipelines and work process. So that's the thing first. So we are doing the initially we are creating the infrastructure as a code with Azure CLI, Azure PowerShell, as well as ARM templates,
ARM templates,
ARM bicep, ARM JS7. Okay.
Terraform. Okay.
So and Terraform. This is a code method. So with code we are creating the infrastructure. And Azure Portal, this is Azure Portal GUI method. That is a graphical user
User
interfaces.
interface,
So that's why we can move the cursor right and left and down and up. We can move crosswise and cross so region, and
horizontal,
whenever
vertical,
we can find the images are graphical identification notes. They are given one beautifully web based page. This is a web based page. This is a front end UI. Front, it is a using it is appearing in the front UI user interface. It having the connected with back end in services. That back end services with APIs or connections with a lot of methods. You can't know if now at the time of journey in your career of IT. So I can't know anything. So I can know some of the will be direct access through some web users, front end, back end services, and API application program interface methods. So lot of is there, webhook method. So there is a lot of things is there. So we are watching this screen with front end UI. So this is a manual method, and everybody can see visible and they feel, but in code method they can't feel. We need to image that requirement is will become. So using this code that will become like that. So you need to just imagination. So then only it works. So there is a document provided. So we are completed three method: CLI, PowerShell, and Portal. Correct or not, Manikanta? So we need to
yes, sir.
do the two activity. One is the Terraform, one is the Azure Bicep files, ARM, Azure Resource Manager Biceps. So Azure Resource Manager Bicep and template with JSON. There is a two methods is there. So we will discuss that latter part. So today we are discussing with so Terraform. So Terraform is the open source. So I want to start the capturing the document. So Terraform, we are initially starting the. So we Terraform is a open source. Open source means Manikanta,
Sir,
open source. Normally I am discussing in daily classes. Na? What
yes,
is the
sir.
open source?
Open source means anybody can access, sir.
Any kind of access. That is your first opinion. So
Yeah,
that is not us. Open source. Source open source anything is license based. Anything will be the license patent. Correct
everybody.
or not? To please remember the technical words. Always discuss or talk with only technical words. So this is a patent or license. Two things in the world. One is the license free or license free. One more is the patent. So patent is the product. That product will be the patent by invention, so inventive discovery, so they will apply the patent for that so that process will be only for that company for up to 20 years. Then only generic versions. Generic means same copy can do the that owner accept, the owner will be give the license, so then they will do the manufacture as same. Normally Snupix vaccine is the Russian based some corona that tika. So Dr. Reddy's will taken that newspaper reading that you understand that. So that is a patent by the Snupik Russia. Then, but they are doing the with agreement of Russia with Dr. Reddy's software company. So like that, one of the example. So that is patent. So license. So Windows system. So every system having the different license. So okay.
Okay, sir.
Every system having the different license. Your license key can't be same with my Windows system. Is correct or not?
Yes, sir.
You understood, na?
License key. Okay, sir.
Yeah. So without license key, so there is no license key, but there is a legally and general public license. GPL policies. Policy means what is the policy? What is the policy? Policy means governing rules, public administration type. So, are is a Indian citizen, you can leave your freedom, but there is a rights is given for every you that
Every
citizen,
citizen.
every citizen like talking and social behavior, ladies to behavior with ladies and opposite people. So you need to bind some rules, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
So there is a policy also rules. So these rules will be applied to the all. Anybody using these things means anybody living in India means you need to bend the rules. You need to obey for that rules. If you go to the USA also, you need to bind for that rules. That rules are all the policies. So the policies are like that. You can use this thing freely, but you can't modify that main code, and you can't sell. Can't use your business. You can use, but you can't sell this product different modification and do. They are given that type of rules. Understood, na?
Yes, sir.
You can use, but you can not change. You can not, you can change and you can sell different product. That is not acceptable. So maybe that policies will be there here. First lesson: automate infrastructure on any cloud. Open source, it is a so open source means if you searching there is a, in open source it will give the what is open source. Infrastructure as a code, multi cloud deployment. So multi cloud means multi means multi linear normally. What is multi mean?
Multi. So many.
So okay, right, you are getting almost. So multi means multiple number of items, not singular, it is a plural.
Plural.
Yeah, so multi-cloud. So cloud already we know. We are learning the cloud, Azure cloud.
Azure cloud.
One
So
minute,
many clouds, man.
class is recording. All right. So what is so I am give we are working Azure cloud. Okay, it is not a surprise. So learning the what cloud you are knowing the name, that is not a big issue. Tell me the different cloud names.
Like AWS, IBM, and
Mm.
AWS.
You become smart, Mankanta.
Yes.
Where you are finding correct.
uh,
Okay, good. Anything if information is there in front of you, at least you can use it. Then only we will survive in your job and life and everything. Yes, AWS is there, Google Cloud is there, IBM is
IBM.
there. Digital Ocean is there, Alibaba Cloud is there, so many is there. So there is a multi-cloud deployment. With Terraform, you can learn Terraform. You can create n number of resources in all cloud. AWS. You are not only limit to the only Azure cloud. Terraform is the superior. Like it will you work for all the cloud. So if you learn Terraform, you can use any cloud to work with any cloud. So just you need account and you need a document browser. Just you can deploy the any infrastructure like resources in the cloud, respect cloud as a code. Understood, na? So what I am doing now, I will capture these images. This is a common usage. So this is a basic. So then basic completed, we need to the what is the commands and why we need to use what is the command usage. Then we will go how to use how to write the code. So this is a one by one step. So this is a open source. Okay, good. And we can work multiple. We can work with multiple clouds. So as we know, AWS, Azure. Azure is provided by who is that? Cloud provider name is that? Manikanda? AWS, Azure,
That
GCP. GCP means what?
Go, Google Cloud.
Digital Ocean. G, Google Cloud provider.
Sir, Google Cloud.
Digital, correct or not? Check
Yes,
that.
sir.
I don't know exactly.
Google,
Digital Ocean.
Google Cloud.
If I am wrong, also I will connect myself here now. Digital Ocean, Alibaba Cloud, Alibaba, China, IBM,
Uh, yes, sir.
Oracle also there,
Google
IBM
Google Cloud platform, sir.
platform. Correct. So provider is wrong. So
Yes, sir.
Google Cloud provider platform, IBM.
Platform.
So like that we having. So we can work as a to work as a infrastructure as a code. Correct or not?
IaaS.
That is a service. So with we are creating infrastructure as a code and working providing the infrastructure as a services. You can do the two platform as a service also. We can work PaaS services also in the cloud. So but infrastructure as a code giving PaaS services as well as IaaS services. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Even IT people 10 years, 15 years also don't know exactly what is the difference between IAS and PAS, but they are doing job. Understood, na?
Yes, sir.
Exactly meaning they don't know. They still confused. So infrastructure as a service, so code. We are doing the code. Infrastructure as a code. We are creating a code with infrastructure. So we can achieve all the cloud providers. So we know that we are initially we using the for a code method Azure AGCLI method and Azure PowerShell method. Now we are using Terraform. So we are now introduction is completed Terraform. Today we are discussing about a lot of Terraform basics only. So now, so for any uh, infrastructure, any infrastructure with writing the code, we need some method. So I will give the not a respect of a Terraform cloud or a CLI or all not. So I am giving the four sections. It is a structured thing. So I am typing here. Please watch carefully. So normally you learn that variables is there na variables.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
infrastructure will be created with this terms. Infra can be created with below pattern. What is that? First in variables, next to parameters. So I will take as a header parameters. Okay. Next variable parameter. Next we will create a resource. One minute. Anything will be by hearting very difficult. So take the subject knowledge in the scope of usage. So how I am using, what is the requirement, how it is frameworked. So understand that method. Then only it will be remember more and ever. Any time you can recall in your mind through your mind. So everything remember in your mind means you will having the creating that confusion. So when you are coming to the next 15 days, I am asking Azure CLI, Azure PowerShell, Azure Bicep, Azure template. So you will be the some confusion. So what is the basics and what is the pattern we are using? So that's the important. So infrastructure can be created with the below pattern. Variables కావాలి అంటున్నా. So I am need variables, parameters and resources. So and output. I am saying these four. So I will take as a bullets. Okay. Now I am saying you with you like as a right. So variables means what is your opinion, Manikanta? Variables means it is saying that Usaravelli. So you know the Usaravelli.
Yes, sir.
So it is always vary the this their formation
Surroundings.
of skin with the
With
surrounding.
surroundings.
So environment. So so always change that this formation. So that is a variable. So that is a variation. It show the variation in the skin, correct or not? Respect to the environment,
Yes,
like
sir.
greenery, red or vanish, ash color and
Yes,
so
sir.
it is also variable also like same matter. So whenever requirement is there, if you variable is, if I suppose variable 1 equal to 5, so I will do, then when I requirement is there, I will use variable I equal 1 equal to 1, then it will go for the next to method. So I variable 1 equal to variable plus 1, variable 1 plus 1 equal to variable 2, it will be changed. Otherwise I will assign variable 2, then it will can't restrict to the that value, like I will show you this. It is will be change the value whenever requirement variable. Example, it is not related to any language, any programming language. I am not saying the only one programming language. It is all applicable to all programming languages. That respective behavior of the variables is same. Suppose in variable one is one variable. So I assigned one or some numeric value 1. So when I using that sometime, so I say that variable when I going the process. So steps, it is execution. One execution will be start like that, 1 2 3 4, it like that it will complete top to bottom, correct or not? In
Yes.
programming or anything, you will sentence read from the top to down only, na down to top, not correct or
Yeah,
not?
yeah, yes, sir.
So that execution will be also system will be take from top to bottom. So here variable 1, so it is say that variable 1. So I will say that here print variable, print variable, variable 1. So it give output as a bracket. I am saying that output, how much will come? Output will
One.
1. It's correct. So when I assigning the programming, so it is variable is 1. So next line is I printing the output. So that's why it is getting output as 1. So next variable 1 equal to variable 1 plus 3. So I want to print. This is for not related to Terraform. This is for knowledge of variable. How, what is the behavior of variable? Understood now,
Yes,
Manikanta?
sir. Yes, sir.
So what is a variable behavior? So we will work with variables parameters and the requirement of resource and output, how to will get the output. So that we'll know, that will be useful to the all applicable in the world, programming world. So that's the same methods you will be use everything in a computer world, IT tech. So print variable 1, then output is,
It is
what is
4.
output? Output 4.
4.
So it is correct, not 3 plus 1, 4, 4, right?
4.
So I am doing the variable spelling mistake. Don't remember, don't identify, judge. More important. So variable 5, and what is the value of the variable? So I am doing the mistake. Variable. This is programming related to Azure Terraform and Azure Bicep templates. It will take little more classes and more subject. It is more demanding subjects in the world present as a DevOps and infrastructure code. Only for this Terraform and Bicep. If you know, you will get the jobs. Only for this one only.
ఎక్కువ
So take
ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ టెరాఫామ్ గురించి ఎక్కువ అడుగుతున్నా అంటున్నారు సార్.
anything will ask also, no problem, but learning the things from more, I will give more basic and generalized things, and you can know perfection. So you can learn practice from more internet. So examples things, so how you can practice daily. So your subject I am giving the daily, we are adding the one more, adding the subject. So try to understand the what is the subject, so what is the questions, what is the things requirement in that. So you will learn Terraform general things, and you will they will ask in the interview, you understand that, oh, this is the things also very important, then only you will understand. So that time you will learn more things, and your perfection will come. So print variable 1, no issues. If you know things, some I will give information in the respect of my career and interview. So it will almost enough. If you are asking more means you are getting the extra knowledge, correct or not? So what is the output, Manikanta here?
ప్రింట్ వేరియబుల్ 1.
Immediately, wrong or right, I don't bother. Give the information immediately. Judge
5
fill
సార్.
5. Why not a 4 plus 5 9, or 3 or 1 plus 5 6, or 4 or 1? Why these are not happened? Only 5 only happened.
5,
Why?
3, 5, 4.
Why not happened? I'm expecting, at least I used a variable 1, that is not coming here output. I expecting here 4, that is also not coming. And I expecting 5 plus 4, maybe I added I added into the variable. So I already previously 4 is there now, so I, why it is not adding to the 5, already 4 is there, so it is also adding, it need to increase now. Why it is as only 5, not as a 5 9? Why you are thinking? Any explanation you having? Any explanation is there for you for explaining this scenario?
నో సార్.
No. Try to give one explanation, because thinking and understanding. is the basic key concept, key of the to crack the IT. Yeah, Sriram,
వేరియబుల్ 1 ఈక్వల్ టు 5 అని చెప్పి ఇన్పుట్ ఇచ్చాం
voice
కదా.
is getting low.
వేరియబుల్ 1 ఈక్వల్ టు 5 అని చెప్పి ఇన్పుట్ ఇచ్చాం కదండి.
Uh,
దానికి సో అవుట్పుట్ 5 అనేది వస్తుంది కదా.
so I am asking here question this step. So variable initially 1. So okay, output 1. Okay, it is fine. So I assign first initial. So variable here I added 1 plus 1. So it is increased to 4. Okay, but this situation I am expecting that. So variable 1 equal 5. So variable 1 equal to already 4. So it will be added to the 5 na. Why it is removing the 4 and it is added 5?
1 ఈక్వల్ టు 1 అని చెప్పి ప్రీ డిఫైన్ చేశారు సార్.
Mm.
వేరియబుల్ 1 ఈక్వల్ టు వేరియబుల్ 1 ప్లస్ 3 అని ఇచ్చారు.
Mm.
వేరియబుల్ 1 ఈక్వల్ టు 1 ప్లస్
Mm.
3 అవుట్పుట్ 4 వచ్చింది. మళ్ళీ
Mm.
వేరియబుల్ 1 కి 5 ప్రీ డిఫైన్ చేశారు కాబట్టి అవుట్పుట్ 5 వచ్చింది.
What is the here? What is the exact reason or situation? Variable one situation. It is a situation that it is a rule or like a policy like that variable will be always be can assign the value and it will be erasing the value. That is the main situation. It is erasing the previous value of data. It is stored anything. It is a RAM memory variable. That is the main concept. So that is varying means it is remove the previous existing value. Any time in a sequence we can assign the value of variable. So that's the thing. Sometimes some values can't change edit. So sometime. So it will add this that it will store the existing value and if you add any adding the value it will store the second value also and don't remove that previous value. Understood, na? That's why it is a variable. So usually I say the example. That's why. So it will be lose the total their characters. The character is that one variable. Initially it is one is the that character, and it is changed to the to 4, and now it changed to 5. So it is not constantly hold their value. It will be vary based on your assignments. So it is not stick to the one value. That is why variable. I think you understand. Parameters. What is the parameters? So variable example with header 2 and parameters header 2. So parameters means passing the values. So I will give example. I am also don't know exactly, but parameter is the passing the value meters. Meet the value to pass the values to meet the your requirement. Understood, na? So here difference is that you will predefine value. So variable equal 1 equal to 1, variable 5 is equal to 5 or 6, 8, 9, 10, x, y, z. But parameter you can't define immediately. You will pass the value as a whenever requirement is there. Parameter is what? Meaning not required. Parameters in programming. In computer program, parameter is a formal argument. It is special kind of variable used in a subroutine refer one of three data provided input subroutine displays. So it is very little bit highly terminology. I understood, but you people need to understood. Parameter identify values that are passed into a function. So it is saying that function. So parameters is a named variable passed into function. An argument is referred to the values that are passed with a function with. So everything is a passing only, na? I am saying that it is almost matching the terminology, na? So what I do now, I will copy and paste this. summary. So means we can't define predefined value for the parameter, and we will pass the value whenever requirement. You understood na? Suppose student name is the parameter. So whenever requirement, I want to store the student name. So I can pass the value as Srinivas, Manikanta, Ramesh, Raju. Understood na? That is the parameter. But one stick to the one person like Sriram. Variable one equal student one is equal to Sriram. He is the number one student. So then he is the variable. So that is a fixed value. Sometimes parameters also can be fixed with the values, but that perspective, that usage using the values in the programming or coding, so that is different. So the that will be know when using the process, but we are not learning the no programming languages. We are using the to create infrastructure code with Terraform and Bicep. That's why we are learning, and there is a basic requirement is there. So that is a predefined open book. So you can go and search and how to use. Anybody can do. If you not learn today also, you can create some things from your Terraform and Bicep with Azure Cloud. That assurance I will give. So that is main based on your interest and hard work. That's only. If you I am saying learning only, it will come, and that is not correct. Anybody can learn, individual also, but that is a understanding level. So it is need, because if you know some terminologies will be not understood. That's why we can't understand. That's the only reason. Otherwise anybody can learn from the documents. So like I given lot of observations. So everything will be passing to the function, passing to the value. So parameter will be the passing the value to the some, like, so parameter, like I am saying that parameter, like same word, student name, student name, student name. So I am leaving empty here. So whatever requirement is there, you can enter. Understood, Manikanda?
Okay, sir.
So parameter is the very better best choice na. So you can as your convention, so you can do the give the name. So infrastructure as a code via virtual machine. So you are giving the resource group name. So sometime Linux RG, or sometime Windows RG, sometime Manikanda RG resource group. Then we virtual machine name, Manikanta VM, Linux VM, Windows VM.
Medium.
So every time it is changing the name. So that time you can't write everything is equal to same time process. So every time. So using parameter, we can create the code, and whatever the values, whenever requirement, you will give the inputs as the input, passing the inputs, and we will get the output. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
That's the thing. That is the parameters. Okay, na? Now understood the parameters, variables. Now third one is resource. What is a resource? It is a no requirement. I have to explain actually. Manikanta, you need to tell what is resource. Requirements of our deployment. Okay, virtual machine or anything. Understood now, Manikanta? So we will create this using these values. So we having the requirement, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
So requirement is there. So to create this one, we need to follow code structure, correct or not?
Yes.
Schema. So we
Yes.
are using command. So there is a command design is there. So there is a resource group name dollar hyphen. There is a technical keywords is there. As we discussing, we will go for our website. So here, uh, here. So this is a keyword, new AG resource group, hyper name. So this is a predefined design. So I need to give a name here.
My
So
resource group.
location. So this is a design already there a document is there. So we need to use the document and we will pass the value as a parameter here. Okay, variables are, so I will use variable 1 equal to east to us. I will use here location hyphen location equal to hyphen variable 1. So ఇక్కడ hyphen variable 1, then what is the value, location equal to hyphen variable 1 means equal to east to us. So it will be selected as a east to us as correct or not.
Yes, sir. Correct, sir.
So it will be execute the command, so the data is available. So for, so like that we have a requirement, resource is there, that resource need inputs and schema and structure. Schema means design and our structure. So that code will be follow based on the software which software using that structure and that schema, that form, the design pattern keywords need to use, then we will achieve your resource creation, correct or not. Before that we need inputs variables like a variables values, that for this things we need a input values like variables parameters. It will be useful in the resource requirements, resource creation. Okay, then it will be create, then what it will become. So resource will be created, correct or not.
Yes, sir.
This is mainly work, process will be like that, that's why I am explaining, this is very important. So when I starting direct code will give and parameter variable design, variable equal for, like that I am doing now, you not understand exactly. So why I am, what is the top level, what is the next level, and what is the middle level, what is the outcome. Outcome means output, correct?
Output, sir. Output.
So this is output. Now resource created means output values will come na. We are provision stated successfully, and public
Yes, sir.
IP
Yes, sir.
created,
Yes, sir.
public IP created, so public IP number created. So that is output. Virtual network created. So VNet name is coming output, correct? Subnet name created. Subnet
Yes.
name also output,
Yes, sir.
and subnet gateway also having the IP numbers. We are discuss detail about subnet networking
Yes, sir.
and address space. So lot of outputs is there, correct or not? When you
Correct, sir.
doing the resources. So that output, so the outcome will come. Outcome will be get. So this is the thing. So this is the four things will only happen when doing the infrastructure as a code. And programming world also same. Suppose I want to create a web page like that, I need values, suppose website name and things, parameter variables. So for creating the Java or programming language, I don't know anything, Python, anything, but I need to understand that pattern. I will create the, this is very less, so I will create a design pattern using these values. Here I will design, this is the engine. So it will design, create the missions. Then that output will come as a web page. So in the output form. So that is the four things only happened in the respect to the IT world. Correct or not?
Correct, sir.
So resource values. Resource values will get. So how to use this output also, you will be the to the next input, correct or not. Suppose virtual vision Windows Linux VM need public IP, virtual network, storage disk, correct. We will get I think here when you're creating the Windows machine, Linux machine, public IP, this is a public IP, and network sensor group, these are the dependents. So it will be the input to the virtual machine, na, correct or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it is dependent. So it will need inputs from these values to the input. So sometime output will be the input to the some resources, correct? So for creating multiple one Linux machine, so it need Windows me public IP, virtual network, and storage disk. So network secure group, these are things need. So first we need to create for a virtual machine, I need to create these IPs as a resource, and output will be the input to the Linux VM. Understood na? Any doubt in that statement? Mm,
No, sir.
no na? Okay, that is the thing. So most of the time I did same only. So I will take the some output of resources as the input to the bigger resource, like that is a VM. This is a high level resource. So it need a network ID, network interface, security group, virtual network, and virtual network subnet, and storage disk. So this is the our income input to the virtual machines Linux. So this is the basics about any infrastructure want to create. So we need to understand that these things. So we will learn more about continuation classes tomorrow. Okay, we will learn the what is the variables, how and define, and resource how to create and how to communicate. So Azure CLI, Azure PowerShell, same method. So we are understanding basics, how it is designing and how. So there is a remaining things also there, dependency. So here dependence keyword is a dependent. What is mean dependence? So VM need here
Dependent.
public IP
Yes, sir. Public IP storage.
dependent dependent to
Yeah.
dependent to VM, Linux VM. So like that there is keyword will be there. So what we'll do now? So we will do. I will continue 5 minutes because I want to explain one thing. Paint method. Then it will understand. Okay. This is the Linux machine VM. This is the dependent resources. One, two, three, three enough. So this is the Linux VM. For creating Linux VM as a CLI or VM or so anything. So we need first this is a public IP. This is the storage. This is the tell me another one. Manikanda. VNet. Okay, virtual network.
Or
So
subnet. Okay, sir.
so I can't create a Linux VM directly without creating. So if it is existing, so like that I can't stand without my legs, like that is a statement like so if you
Requirement.
Linux VM need so I need to create first this one. So first there is a sequence, correct? So I will do sequence like so when I creating the I will take care these precautions. I will take care precautions while creating the Linux machines. uh, Now you understand. This is very important. I actually not. I got the thought now. So here, So first, what is the first better? One more is there. Uh, One more is that very important
Public IP storage is
resource group. Correct or not?
yes sir, yes sir, yes sir.
Normally we know that's why resource group.
Yes
If
sir.
you
No
otherwise,
resistance, there is no anything.
uh, right. So GROUP. Spell mistake don't mind. Important is the concept. So I am giving the first what you want to create, Manikanta. Give the numbers 1, 2, 3 like rank 1, 2, 3, 4 like
Resource
which
group
one?
sir.
Resource group. So I am giving the one. Next,
Next
maybe your sequence may be wrong. No problem.
public IP.
No, it is a virtual network. So you will come to network is important. And third, storage. Storage without storage, VM
Yes sir.
and attachment it will not correct. So I am giving the priority 3.
I need to storage. Okay sir.
This is 4. So I will. It is a 5. Last correct?
Yes sir, yes sir. Finally okay sir.
Yeah,
Right.
5, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I will wait to Linux VM creation. Still, I will depend on 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct or not? Linux VM is depend on 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes sir.
So it will be wait for creating resources 1 comma sorry 1 comma right 1 only 2 comma 3 comma 4. So I am waiting for the 1 2 comma 2 comma 4. There is a keyword that is a some word is that. So I am explaining one technical keyword like that is a one this if using this dependent word is there keyword. So
Yes sir.
this technical word in bicep. So what is the use then? So I'm using this keyword with help of I will be wait for this. So I will write here depend 1 comma 2 comma 3. So I am giving the this bracket. So simple, very easy. So 1 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. So I am saying this virtual machine. So I am saying that this code wait up to some time to don't execute your work. So understand na? Programming language I am saying that depend 1 comma 2 3 comma 4. So when I am saying this one, it will wait for creation 1 2 3 4. So then I will same I will copy. I direct I will type. So here dependent. So I will say that 3 comma 3 or 1 1 comma 2 comma 3. Correct or not?
Yes sir, yes sir.
So this logic is very easy. So otherwise sequence follow not follow, it will be error, get error. So
Yes sir.
it will be depend sometime this will be depend on this one. So need to check the document.
Okay
The
sir.
document will be provided by the everything on the that already that infrastructure Terraform or ARM bicep tile everything they are providing. So sometime dependent is one word. So if you that situation is there, independent means anytime you can create, no need to depend. If you depend is there, so I will mention the this VNet name 1 2 3 like 2 1.
1 comma 2. Okay sir. 2 comma 1.
Anything name
Okay sir. No
that is
problem.
pa- uh, So depend to only depend into two only. So I thinking that. So it will I will give the some keywords with commands like in the programming. So it will wait up to this one. So it will wait this creation and it will wait for this creation and all the existing resource dependent resource created perfectly, and it will create the after the completion it will success the this condition. So true, it is it will check the always time true or true, it is true, false then we will stop, true, 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 it is need true, it's whenever true it will start the creation, and after the after starting the creation it will getting the all the output values to the input to the here, and it will perfectly create the Linux VM. Understood na?
Yes, sir.
So this is a situation only happening in the whenever resource creation. If you independent, you can create this directly, no dependence.
Yes, sir.
So this type of comments will be there. Dependents, sub parenthesis. Means sometime it is a friend of here. So this is a group. So some logically normal observations we will do in the programming things in infrastructure as a code. That's only. Remaining all the nothing is there. Remaining all are common. So this is the only thing I want to explain. So it will be useful. Tomorrow we will class when I discuss it. So this is type of logic we will use in the when creating the code. That's the thing. Now understood na? So that's why Linux VM waited. Actually, Linux VM creating means it is waiting for this the thing. It is case sensitive. Means this case is applicable to the Linux VM in the Azure cloud. So that type of programming inbuilt in the Azure cloud. That's why when you creating the manually through Azure portal creating resource, but it is dependent, so when you creating this manually also it is following the same method. Understood now, Manikanda?
Yes, sir.
So it is applicable all the environment, all the scenarios in the respect to any type of code. That's only. To build the house, you need to depend on the basics, groundwork, and after the only you can build your roof.
Yes, sir.
Correct, na?
Yes, sir.
You can't build the daba floors without ground level. This
Yes,
is
sir.
a common thing. That common thing, common scenario is applicable to the everywhere. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So that's basic is need. Ask your questions. I will continue tomorrow. This programming main commands, basic command, and we'll go to the deep, and we will continue the next level to the almost Sunday to it will complete. So you will practice the more example with your respective time. There is a L number of command examples. Just try to practice that commands. And what is the I will give the basic commands. So tomorrow also I will open this. This is very important. I will copy and I will paste this into our Word file. Today class is not anything is there, just general things. So I will give these commands the information. This is the main commands it's saying that, and all other commands. This is only for this Terraform, but with this only we can use do the wonders. This is for the Terra infrastructure as a code with all cloud respect to multi clouds. So what is the initial what plan? So I will explain detailedly tomorrow. So using these things and using example, you can create n number of things. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Uh, Ask any doubts in that.
No, sir.
Sriram, ఉన్నాడా శ్రీరామ్?
సార్ సార్.
Okay. So we are actually you not part of the previous class, na? So Manikanta already there. So you just go for the Azure CLI, Azure PowerShell classes. You understand the what is the code. means infrastructure code. Why you are creating the VMs?
Okay.
So we are creating the VMs, Linux VMs are resources. What is the cloud? Also, I given a lot of type definition in the classes. So write that question, that definition. What is the cloud? So why we are getting those resources? So try to having the, if you are having the uh, like a credit card, open this account, Azure Cloud.
Okay.
So we were creating the previously respective resources with manually, means Azure portal GUI method. So there is a code method, Azure CLI, Azure PowerShell, Azure Cloud Shell.
Back.
Okay, Azure Cloud Shell also there. So three classes: Azure Cloud Shell and Azure PowerShell and Azure CLI.
Like,
Now infrastructure as a code with Terraform, and one more is that air bicep files. So there is a Terraform is a Hashi corporation, that vendor Hashi corporation, and a ARM bicep files is the Microsoft provider. That is a Microsoft product. This is a Hashi corp product. It is open source. I said initially what is the open source license agreements legally and that thing. So we are creating as a code. So we are using this code, create the code and storing the code using Git to protect as a lock and key. So we normally money will be protected with bank accounts and lock and key, safer locker. Hard copy money is the notes, rupees. Okay, that will be stored into the lockers with key and locker,
Yes.
password protection, and digital currency will be locked with banking, they having a highly security. So we are storing our currency is that our software is our currency, our code is our currency. How we are lock and key? With GitHub, with Git installation. So we are lock and key with GitHub. We are remote repository we store, and there is a policies no, to apply, and there is a branch strategies policies. So we can we can give somebody can access. So there is a restrictions is there. That's the thing.